Go Ask Ellis, July 13th. Dear Diary, for 2 days now, I've tried to convince myself that using LSD makes me a dope addict. And all the other low class, unclean, despicable things I've heard about kids that use LSD and all the other drugs. But I'm so curious. I simply can't wait to try pot. Only once, I promise. I simply have to see if it's everything that it's cracked up not to be. All the things I've heard about LSD were obviously written by uninformed, ignorant people like my parents who obviously don't know what they're talking about. Maybe pot is the same. Anyway, Jill called this morning and she's going to her friends for the weekend, and she'll call me the first thing Monday. I told her what a great time I had, and she seemed pleased. I'm sure if I hint around, she'll see that I get to try pot just once. Then I'll immediately go home and forget the whole drug setup. But it's nice to be informed and know what things are really like. Of course, I wouldn't want anyone to know I've really used them. And I guess I better go get one of those little fishing tackle type metal boxes to lock you in with a good padlock. I can't take a chance on anyone reading you, especially not now. In fact, I guess I better take you with me even to the library to look up something about drugs. Thank goodness for the catalog section. I wouldn't dare ask anyone. Also, if I go now when the library first opens, I'll probably have the whole place to myself. July 14th. On the way to the library, I met Bill. He's taking me out tonight. I can't wait to see what happens. It's a completely new world I'm exploring, and you can't even conceive the wide new doors that are opening up before me. I feel like Alice in Wonderland. Maybe Lewis G. Carroll was on drugs too. July 20th. Dear, close, warm, intimate friend, diary. What a fantastic, unbelievable, expanding, thrilling week I've had. It's been like, wow, the greatest thing that has ever happened. Remember, I told you I had a date with Bill? Well, he introduced me to torpedoes on Friday and speed on Sunday. They are both like riding shooting stars through the Milky Way, only a million trillion times better. The speed was a little scary at first because Bill had to inject it right into my arm. I remembered how much I hated shots when I was in the hospital. But this is different. Now I can't wait. I positively can't wait to try it again. No wonder it's called speed. I could hardly control myself. In fact, I couldn't have if I wanted to and didn't want to. I danced like I had never dreamed possible for introverted, mousy little me. I felt great, free, abandoned, a different, improved, perfected specimen of a different, improved, perfected species. It was wild. It was beautiful. It really was. Dear Diary, July 23rd. Dear Diary, Grams had a little heart attack last night. Thank goodness it happened just as I was getting ready to go out, and it wasn't really serious. Poor Gran is pretty much beside herself, but she's staying calm on the outside anyway. They haven't bugged me at all since I've been here, and they've been so delighted that I'm having a good time and that I've met a lot of friends that they stay completely out of my way. Dear hearted square souls, if they only really knew what was happening, their eyebrows would be shocked up into the middle of their heads. Gramps' attack only means that he'll be bedridden for a few weeks, but I'll have to be really careful because I I'll have to be careful that I don't cause any extra trouble so that they'll want to send me home. Maybe if I start helping more around the house, they'll even think they need me. I hope nothing happens to Gramps. I love him so much. I know sometime both he and Gran will have to die, but I hope that isn't for a very long time yet. It's strange, but I never thought about much about dying till now. I suppose someday even I will have to die. I wonder if there really is a life after death. Oh, I do hope there is. But that isn't the part that really worries me. Actually, I know that our souls will go back up to God. But when I think about our bodies being buried in the dark, cold ground and being eaten by worms and rotting, I can hardly stand the thought. I think I'd rather be cremated. Yes, I would. I definitely would. I'm going to ask mom and dad and the kids as soon as I get home to be sure and have me cremated when I die. They will. They're a sweet and wonderful and good family, and I love them, and I'm lucky to have them. I must remember to write to them again this very day. I haven't been too good about writing, and I simply must be better. And I think I'll tell them I want to come home now. Right now. I want to get away from Bill and Jill and all the others. I don't know why I shouldn't use drugs because they're wild and they're beautiful and they're wonderful. But I know I shouldn't, and I won't. I won't ever again. I hereby solemnly promise that I will, from this very day forward, live so that everyone I know can be proud of me and so that I can be proud of myself. July 25th. Gramps is getting along fine. I've done all the cooking and cleaning and everything so Gran could just stay with him all the time. They really appreciate it and I appreciate them. 6:30. Jill called and invited me to a party, but I told her I'm committed to my grandparents till things get better. I'm glad I had an excuse for not going. July 28th. Mom and Dad have been calling every day since Gramps had his attack. They asked me if I wanted to come home, and I really do, but I feel I should stay here till at least next week and help. August 2nd. I'm getting bored to the teeth. But at least I'm giving moral support to Gran, and after all she's done for me all my life, that's the least I can do. Bill called again and asked me for a date, and Gran insists that I get out, so I guess I'll go with him, but I'll just babysit if he wants a trip. August 3rd. Bill had 6 kids over to his house last night. His folks had gone to the city, so they wouldn't be back till 1 or 2. They were all going to trip on acid, and since I'd been cooped up for so long, I decided I might as well take one trip too. One last trip. I'm certainly not going to use any of the stuff when I get home. It was groovy, even greater than the others. I don't see how each trip can be better than the one before, but they are. I sat for hours examining the exoticness and magnificence of my right hand. I could see the muscles and the cells and the pores. Each blood vessel was a fascination into itself, and my mind still flutters with the wonder of it all. August 6th. Well, last night it happened. I am no longer a virgin. In a way, I'm really sorry because I always wanted Roger to be the first and only boy in my life, but he's away visiting. In fact, I haven't seen him since I got here. He might have grown into a gawky, stupid, rambling idiot anyhow. I wonder if sex without acid could be so exciting, so wonderful, so indescribable. I always thought it just took a minute or that it would be like dogs mating, but it wasn't like that at all. Actually, last night it took me a long time to get started on the trip. I just sat in the corner feeling left out and sort of antagonistic. Then suddenly it happened and I wanted to dance wildly and make love. I hadn't known that I even felt that way about Bill. He had seemed a nice, quiet person who took care of me when I needed support, but suddenly I didn't have any inhibitions about trying to seduce him. Not that he needed much pressure. Actually, it still doesn't seem quite real. All my life, I've thought that the first time I had sex with someone, it would be something special and maybe even painful, but it turned out to be just part of the brilliant, freaky, way out forever pattern. I still can't quite separate one thing from another. I wonder if all the kids had sex. But no, that's just too awfully animal and indecent. I wonder how shocked Roger would be if he knew. And my parents, and Tim and Alex and Gramps and Gran. I think they would be mortified, but no more than I am. Maybe I even really love Bill, but right now I can hardly even remember what he looks like. Oh, I'm so horribly, nauseously mixed up. And what if I'm pregnant? Oh, how I wish I had anyone to talk with who knows what they're talking about. I hadn't thought about being pregnant before. Can it happen the first time? Will Bill marry me if I am, or will he just think I am an easy little dum dum who makes it with anyone, with everyone? Of course, he won't marry me. He's only 15 years old. I guess I'll just have to have an abortion or something. I certainly couldn't stand it if I had to leave school like blank did last year. The kids talked about absolutely nothing else for weeks. Oh God, please, please make me not pregnant. I'm going to call mom right now. I'll get Gran to buy a plane ticket and I'm going home tomorrow. I hate this rotten place and I hate Bill Thompson and all that crowd. I don't know how I ever got mixed up with them. But I was so pleased and felt so smart when they accepted me, and now I feel miserable and ashamed as though that's going to do any good.